Hey there everybody, so today, this, eventually, so we're going to go up into space today. Going to take a look at this Hasagawa Science Space Series, or Space Science Series kit of the NASA Space Shuttle Orbiter. It's, with boosters and launcher mount, it says there, so great. You can see there, so let's go! Okay then, so this is let's see if we get all of it. Because it's an upright box, which is different. I'll say that for nothing. I'll say it anyway. Excuse me. It's an upright box, which is that way around, which makes it a bit tricky. But let's take a look. So on the front there, you've got everything you need to know. At the bottom there, it says no glue included. Contains parts for one aircraft model. Personally, I think that should say one spacecraft model, but let's have a look. So on this side, we have information about the kit, or about the Space Shuttle Orbiter. And it says here, I read it earlier and I was amused. The Space Shuttle was developed by NASA, brackets National Aeronautical and Space Administration, as a low-cost space transportation system. Yeah, because it eventually ended up costing more than the Saturn V rocket per launch, but that's beside the point. Unlike the past space rockets, the shuttle, having a large payload space, can be repeatedly used, which it could, at a vastly expanded cost. Apparently, it will highly contribute to the future of space development, which it did. Partly, until it was shut down because it was just too damn expensive. Over here you got images of a built-up and painted model, I believe, including, so this would have been the original iteration of this space shuttle, because I did build the 144 scale. I think it was probably a Revel, I think, at the time, and it had exactly the same cargo thing in there, in the payload bay. So anyway, that's that side. Here it says BTs. There's a little sticker for BTs, which has got a 269060. No idea what that means. Probably some sort of serial number. BTs, for those who don't know, was a model shop. There was one in Leeds. I used to pop in there every now and then and just gaze at all the lovely models. I was too poor to buy stuff at the time, but that's beside the point. I'm grown up now and I can buy this shit. Oh, what's going on here? Anyway, let's take a look at this end of the kit, and we have basically stuff that's on the front of the box, with boosters and launching system. So 1/200th scale Space Science Series, which is there. QI, it says it's a Q1 Hasagawa Hobby Kits. So this is kit number. It says a Q-001-1600. I can tell by the condition of this box that this is quite an old kit. On this side you got another picture of the built-in painted model on the launch pad, or I say launch pad, I think it is a launch pad, space delivery system, and nothing there. But it does say here, warning, when you use glue or paint, do not use fire in the room, and open window for fresh air. So I think there is an open a window for fresh air. On this end, same as the other end, plus a little price tag, so this cost me £15. Have I got the receipt with it? So, anyway, we'll find out in a moment. So anyway, that's the outside of the box. Let's take a look at what's on the inside. It's got to open. So this hasn't been opened in forever. I don't know how old this kit is, but you can tell the paper, the white has gone brown with age and so on. So this kit has been in somebody's stash for quite a long time, and then ended up at the model shop, which I believe was Halifax Models World, which is where I bought it for £15, and I thought that was a good deal. Otherwise, I probably would have bought it. But I probably would have bought it anyway, because I'm quite keen on this subject. Whoa. And there you go. Pile of plastic. Yeah. At first glance at the contents here, I can see that this is a fairly simplified kit, and I can see I haven't got a receipt here, so I don't know when I bought it. So yeah, let's take a look at the some more stuff. Right then, I'll put you over there and have a look at some paperwork. So now this instruction manual has gone so brown with age. Yeah, that's the thing about paper. When it gets old, it goes brown. So some photographs of the painting of the kit, of the model there. Title of the model there. Down here, Space Shuttle Orbiter. So you got some details about the vehicle itself and data, how big the vehicle was. 37.25 meters long, with a wingspan of 23, just under 24 meters. Here. Pause and take a look and have a read if you really want it. Yep. Anyway, on the back here we have sprue maps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 other parts. So 9 basic sprues, I guess. And parts and number names. That's interesting. So over here, because each sprue has some numbers visible, so you know that's part 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Down here tells you what they are. A parts. So we just looked at B parts. There's the B parts: nose left, nose right, body flap, top, fuselage, bottom. So that's I quite like that. Yeah, tells you what the parts are and so on. So each sprue is nicely marked out so you can see what it is. Other parts down here: launching platform. Oh, thumbs up there, right? Yeah. So Hasagawa knew what they're doing with this one. Anyway, let's take a look at the build process, shall we? So this thing flops out, flips out. Let's start here, shall we? Okay, so 4 rules, it says at the top there. So learn, never use glue or paint near fire. Got this funky Japanese style fire system, heating system, or heating device. So I've only ever seen them on Japanese anime. Actually, I've never seen it in a live action TV show. Then I've watched very few Japanese live action TV shows, so that's probably the reason. Over here, open window, time to time. Got a little egg plane Harrier jump jet there. Looking quite cheerful with a nice breezy wind there. Learn correct usage of tools. And you got some tools there. And over here, keep all materials and tools neatly, which is what the Japanese do like to do. And when I'm building here, I like to do that myself. Except if you could actually see my desk here, you'd think I was lying to you, which I'm not, but yeah. Anyway, build process, lots of other things. For parents here, says it is reported that building plastic model kits improve child's capability in understanding and in patience. So there you go. If you've got children, introduce them to model kits. Like my parents did to me, which is why I still do these things. Right then, down here, number 1, fuselage assembly. So I've got quite a few parts here. You've got the main shuttle bay there, the doors, D8 and so on the fuselage. So basically putting all that together, painting the inside silver of the main fuselage hangar doors. And then down here you paint, you're assembling the, putting the nose together and putting the little canopy windscreen in there. Stage 2, wing assembly. Lots of nice details there. When you attach orbiter to external tank, open these holes from inside. So it looks to me like it's giving you the option to have this space shuttle either on its own, orbiting or landing, whatever, or connected to the fused boosters and fuel tank, an external fuel tank rather. So if you want to do that, then you're going to need to cut out some holes over here. Let's zoom in a little bit on that. Yes, there you go. So yeah, so you've got the option to cut out some holes there. As it goes down there to section 3, rocket nozzle assembly. Start that again. As we go down to section 3, rocket nozzle assembly. Spelt wrong. R-O-K-E-T. So is that some kind of herb? Rocket nozzle assembly. So you put them together. So that's the main engines of the shuttle being put in there. You've got these parts A7. A9 is parts on over here tells you part A9, which is the rocket nozzles, is movable. Be careful not to apply glue here when you glue A7 to A9. So these rockets can be gimbaled. They can move, which helps in steering the vehicle as it goes up into orbit. And from what I've heard about this vehicle, while these main rockets were very powerful, they really weren't powerful enough to lift the vehicle off the ground. That's what the main boosters are for. These are used mainly to steer it. So that's why you can move it around. I do recall when I built the space shuttle back in the old days, talking the 1980s now, that model kit did have the option to do that as well. But I didn't. I just glued it straight in, so the rockets weren't movable. Not that I cared, you know. Because shortly after building it, it got put away and never seen again. So naturally, the fuel tank did get reused and as a what you call it, kit bashed spaceship for something else entirely. Anyway, so then you fit the engines onto the fuselage together with the boost orbital maneuvering rocket pods, which go on top there, which is what these are. So which is also what these little things here are. A11. Over the page we're going into payload parts assembly. So you've got a little payload bit there, which is the I don't know exactly what this thing was because it was always in the earlier models, but I'm assuming it's some sort of experimental lab thing, and this is the egress or entry to it. Is tube here, D3 and D4. As you can see here, you assemble them and drop them into the vehicle there. You also need to assemble the fin, the main fin. It's out of 2 parts, which are on different sprues, surprisingly enough, C8 and D2. And then you also put the Canada arm into there. That was Canada's prime addition to this experiment, this system. They made the arm, which wasn't working on the first attempt, on the first launch, so it just lay there. And I don't know when it actually started work. Probably the second launch they got it working. So anyway. No slight on the Canadians, I'm sure they did a good job just making the device in the first place. Turns out that making an arm that can grapple things in space like this in 0G or in free fall is quite a lot harder than you'd think. Particularly the grasping bit, the bit that grabs and holds onto things to manipulate them. Yeah, quite difficult. Because when you pick up and hold something down here on the ground, you've got gravity to help you out. Over there, you don't. So you need to be able to hold it and make sure it doesn't fly off into space when you let go or whatever. It's complicated. Anyway, we're down to part 5, gear assembly. So you've got the choice to put the wheels up. So you just put the gear doors in, drop them in there, glue them in. Attach in direction, the arrow mark inside says forward. So you've got a bit of help on there. So the part has a little arrow to show you the front of these pieces. So just make sure you get it in the right way. Or if you're not attaching the external tank, you can put the wheels up. wheels down rather, so you can put the gear onto there. And happily you got the nose gear at least. The bay doors, the nose gear bay doors are separate, so you got either the closed one there, which is one piece, or the open ones here, which is two separate pieces, which I like. Down here it says choose position of landing gears up if orbiter is attached to external tank. Gear down position may be chosen if orbiter is displayed separately. So there you go. And then the other side here, which I forgot to mention earlier, little sidebar, you've got little painting guide. I think these numbers are, what you call it, Mr. Hobby Aqueous Glue, Mr. Hobby Aqueous Paints numbers, H8, H1, H77 and H1. So we're going to section 6. Now we're assembling the launch mount, the launching device. So this is something I haven't seen before. This is new to me. We have seen it on TV and so on, but so you got the main base, which is one unit, and we got these two pieces here, which keep the wings straight, I guess. And it's got the little tiny little tracks. I say tiny; they're enormous when you see them in real life. But so that's the launch mount assembly. Section 7, you attach the boosters together. So now I think I do recall seeing this because I was reminded just when I opened the box that the boosters and fuel tank are all essentially one piece. So basically it's just two pieces, and the nozzle for the engine goes into there. So that did surprise me when I saw it. I think that's why I didn't buy it back in the old days, because I guess I wanted a bit more complexity in my kits when I was a teenager. That's just me, I guess. Anyway, so you've done that, and then you assemble the whole thing together, put it onto the base, and there you're done. Got a little sticker here that says NASA Spatial Orbiter, goes onto there. Yeah, so there you go. So that's the build process. You go over the side, and then you've got a double page spread showing you how to paint it. So basically it's black and white. It says semi-gloss black down the bottom here. I probably painted tire black, but if it needs a sheen of seminess, then paint it tire black and then cover it over with actually paint the whole thing whatever in matte white, for example, and then cover it over in a semi gloss, a satin varnish over the whole thing. That may be a better idea. It's up to you. And then over here, so basically that's that. You've got the decal markings and so on. You've got the choice of making the Discovery or the Challenger according to this. So all the images here show Discovery. Discovery says so there, Discovery decal there, Discovery and so on. But over here it appears that the different models had a slightly different marking on the tail fin. So the Challenger one had this extra little black bit at the top there. So that's an interesting thing. So there we go. So that's all the paperwork. Warning in painting, down here, up here, it does tell you Gunzangyo Aqueous Hobby Color is a highly safe water-soluble paint, it says there. So the numbers the numbers in H refer to those of Gunzo Sangyo Aqueous Hobby Color. So there you go. Little information there on how to apply the decals, correct method for applying decals, so you do it correctly if you're going to do it. And there we are. And that is a very nicely, highly detailed instruction manual. Something I haven't seen in quite a long time, to be honest. And considering this kit is quite old, it's disappointing that some manufacturers haven't bothered to learn from the old ones. But there you go. Pretty neat and detailed, and shows you everything you need to know. So let's take a look at the decals. A tiny little decal sheet here, which is curly and yeah. So it's all curly, kind of like that. It may be something to do with the fact that it was resting against the side of the It's resting in the bottom corner of the box, which is forcing it to curve that way. So over time, it should probably just curl up. So I'm going to figure out a way to try and flatten it out. I probably won't need to because it's decals anyway. Is there a way to whiten these? I understand if you leave them out in the sun, they could get rid of the yellowing, but I don't know. Can't quite see the yellowing on there. In fact, on the camera I'm looking at right there, it actually looks very nice, but yeah. But you've got markings for name tags rather for Discovery, Challenger and Atlantis. So which one do you want to use? None of these are the ones that launched first. I think Columbia was the first space shuttle to launch, and the only space shuttle launch that actually had the white, the only space shuttle that had the white painted fuel tank. Because after the first launch, can't you see it? Because after the first launch, they didn't bother painting them, because painting it white added extra weight to it, and weight is the biggest enemy of launching stuff into space. So all shuttle launches after that had the big orange fuel tank, and it was orange because that was the colour of the foam insulation that was covering it. So there you go. So there's the decals. I think they will be usable. They've gone all yellow, but yeah, little yellow decals. So yeah, that's that. Let's take a look at some plastic now. One more thing. This tiny little special orbiter sticker. There's a metallic sticker which looks pretty good, so that's something else to use. So what I'm going to do after I've looked at this, I'm going to put the small bits, this little sticker and the decals into a little plastic bag. I got yeah, in fact I got some bags specially for this job, so yeah, they're over there. Anyway, put that back in the box and let's take a look at these plastic bits. So I'll just be taking parts off the top as we go through. I could do them in correct order, but so this is sprue B. Get you all in there. So you can tell by the size of this that it's not that big a model, but then it is a 1/200 scale, which, to be fair, is a pretty decent size. Makes for a pretty decent size model. So it's not too small that you can't get much detail visible, but it's small enough to make it easy to find somewhere to display it after you built it. Like the previous Hasagawa kit I've looked at, the details on the surface are very nice. It is just plain black covered, well, plain surface, smooth surface, so there's no detailing of any kind on the bottom here, such as what you call it, thermal tiles, the ceramic heat protection tiles you've got all over the thing. You've got the nose there, which is also looks very nice, very well done. You've got this little flap here, just flat, totally flat on one side, on the detail. So which is the detail side? Is it are both the detail side? This little flap that oh yes, it is a detail. So this will go basically on top of that. So yes. So that's the detail side, which will go on the top there. The wheel bays are just square holes in the thing. Nothing exciting to see there. So I suppose you could take a look at what the wheelbase of this vehicle look like and apply some detail yourself. But if, like me, you're probably going to build it in launch configuration, it's all going to be closed up, so it doesn't matter. Same with the nose base of the nose cone, or the main of the nose thing. You can see some little engraved details into there. Got the orbital maneuvering thrusters visible there. Got 4 there, 4 on each side, and got 3 on the nose there. Can you actually see it? pretty difficult to get it in focus. So it looks to me like this is going to fit together fairly nicely. But then it is a Hasagawa kit. They do have a reputation for making very nice kits. So there you go. This is sprue B. Sprue A is next. Which is quite a little small sprue. This one contains your main engines, well, all the engine pieces, the engine bulkhead, the two thrusters visible there. Looks like one is broken off. Let's see if we can find it. There you go. And you've also got the main gear doors there. Those pieces there, which I think are also gear doors, and main landing gear struts, wheels, and these little things, number 7, don't know what they are. Oh yeah, so those are the pieces that hold the go on the inside of the engine. So they fit. It's quite a tight fit. Effectively, they allow the those pieces fit into the back of there and allow the engine to move. Which way do they go? On this side, there you go. Allow the engine to gimbal. And it is, because you've got a little concave curve inside there, which matches up nicely with the convex curve on here, so it's difficult to describe, but it does fit perfectly, and it rotates, moves pretty nice. So it looks like that's going to be a really nice fit. Yeah, so I'm going to put this into, I've got the little bags I've got are just big enough to put this kit. So what I'm going to do, because it's going to be a while before I get around to building this, I'm going to bag these up because there's no plastic bags in here, so they're just roaming around freely. So actually I'll do that now before I forget. So I've got these little bags here from Anissa's, 4-inch square plastic bags, probably just big enough to fit this in. So I'll probably go and buy the next size up for bags as well for this sort of thing. Probably the only downside of these older kits is that they didn't come with the bags and stuff. So let's see if we can fit this into here. That's a nice fit. That's a nice little fit. Perfect little fit. So yeah, so I think what I'll do when I'm done here, I shall nip round to the shop as I mentioned and buy the next size up of bags. These are 4-inch square bags. So little tip for you, if you want to keep them safe, consider investing in some little bags like this. They can be reused, and it also means you're keeping parts safe. Next sprue. Just off the top, this is the launch mount system. So no sprues attached to this, so it looks like I'm going to need to clean out those sprue attachment points. So that would have been where the plastic went into the mould. So it looks like there's plenty of scope for some extra scratch building and detailing on top of this thing. So maybe worth my while, and if you're building this your while as well, to take a look at images of this on NASA's website. And even if you go to Flickr, I do believe NASA has a Flickr site where they've got shed a lot of photographs of everything. So chances are there'll be some nice detailed photographs showing this device, this thing. Not very much detailing on it. There's some sort of like tubes and cables, pipes, pipe work there. Over here as well. Space there where you can put the little plaque. But overall, yeah, quite a nice sturdy base. So this kit comes with its own base, so you don't need to make one. You could of course do one special for it, but with this, I don't think I'm going to need to. So there you go. This is a launch base. Next sprue off the top. So this is sprue D. Sprue D has one side of the fuselage, the main cargo bay doors, one side wing, one half of a wing, the internal bits and pieces, the cargo, the main cargo of this vehicle. Again, I never did find out what that is, but this piece here, that looks like the cover of the one side of the engine of the orbital maneuvering thruster unit, half of the tail fin there, which is I've got to say the detail on the fin itself, particularly and on the wings, is quite nice, quite expansive. The fin on the detailing on the fin is something I really quite like, actually. I'll be honest with you. Everything else looks fine. So yeah, no internal detailing because there's no internal details. So there's no cockpit or anything clever like that. So you just put the windscreen on, little decal over it like glasses, and you're done. So that is sprue D. Next sprue over the top is sprue D's counterpart, sprue C. Other half of the fuselage, other half of the tail fin, other wing. You've got some bits that go inside the cargo bay. Other half of the thing, the internal, the cargo, the main cargo. Again, I need to know what this is called. You've got this Canada. You've got the Canada arm there, and the main internal bay there. So I'm guessing this goes onto there somewhere, or maybe at the back there. Don't know. Because I could refer to the manual that I just looked at, but yeah, there you go. Again, the detailing on the external surfaces is minimal. Well, not minimal. It's quite nicely visible, nicely detailed. Probably slightly above scale, but you know, a 1/200 scale is very difficult to get them to match right. But it's all very good, you know. Yep. So there you go. That is sprue C. This is sprue F. Now this contains all the bits that go onto the main landing. Sorry, not the landing bar. These are all the parts that go on the launch system, the launch base. So you've got the main tracks there that allow it to move from the assembly building up to the launch pad. I'm not sure if this is the case, but these look like the sort of thing that was if you've seen Star Wars, the first movie, the Jawas vehicle, they had tracks very similar to these, so I'm guessing that's where these came from in the model anyway. I could be wrong, but yeah, inspiration. So these are bits that hold the engine up, and these two bits here, these two circles, these two cones, I believe those are the exhaust cones for the main booster. I've got this piece here and this piece here, which are the main mounting parts that hold the shuttle onto the fuel tank. So I'm wondering if there is a pipe that carries the fuel from the tank into the shuttle. Anyway, that's that. That is sprue F. Next up, we've got sprue H, which is probably the only downside or disappointing side for me with this kit, is that fuel tank, boosters, and they're all basically one piece. As you can see, they're all stuck, molded as one unit. However, external detailing on this thing is pretty good, particularly with this, I don't know what you call this thing. I'm assuming it's some kind of piping delivery system, because this tank was basically hydrogen, oxygen. You got two compartments within here, or at least two compartments. One with oxygen and hydrogen. Was it oxygen and hydrogen, or was it oxygen and methane? Anyway, something like that. So, and then you've got the main boosters here. So should I paint this orange or leave it totally unpainted? Yeah, I'll probably paint it whatever colour comes to mind. Can't paint it white because this is in Colombia. So unless I make up a special decal for Colombia. But yeah, probably have to be painted orange. Yeah. Anyway, that is sprue H. Next sprue is sprue G, and it's almost identical to sprue H. So this is the other side of the booster and fuel tank, and there's no piping over here because all the piping is on the other side. Very simple, straightforward, nothing to report, nothing extra to report, I should say. And there you go. So that is sprue G. So what do we have left? Got some tiny pieces. So I'm not sure if this is broken, which I think it is actually. So sprue E, which I think should be just one piece, but it looks to me like this is the windscreen, the clear parts. But it looks to me like it's broken. So I'm guessing it came like that and was mounted to the sprue like so. Unless there was two parts, which surprised me. Let's take a look at the manual and find out. So let's have a look. So parts E, so it was just one piece. But it's broken in two, which is annoying. But there you go. These things happen. As I said, this is an old kit. It's been sitting around in somebody's cupboard for decades. It must have been just like it's been with me. I mean, I've had it for over 2 years at least. I can't tell you exactly when I bought it because I haven't got a receipt for it, unfortunately. But there you go. So anyway, sprue E, which is the main windscreen. See if we can get it closer up to the camera. So there you go. That's what sprue E looks like. And it is tinted, naturally smoked glass, but it is broken in half, so put those in the wrong bag, I think. So let's take a look at what Scalemates had to say about the thing. Eventually found it. This kit was a new tool back in 1985, which is this box right here. So this is this box right here. So this is a 1985 shuttle. Down here says topic Rockwell's International Orbiter. Let's see what I can do here in just a moment. So hopefully you can see something over here. This is the NASA Special Orbiter, number Q001. The model number it says here on Scalemates, and this was a new tool back in 1985. So what you're looking at here is the 1985 original. It was new parts in 88, new decals in 92, new decals and so on in 1994. So a new box was in. So it looks like it was a real box for Dragon. It says there. Everything else is exactly the same picture and so on. So there you go. And that's it. So this kit is, let me see, 40 years old plus, or thereabouts. 1985 was that? Yeah, so yeah. Let me see. Yeah, exactly 40 years old. So how time flies. There you go. So that's what Scalemates has to say about it. Oh, that's the basic Scalemates has to say about it. There's probably lots more about it. So there you go. First thoughts on the NASA Space Shuttle Orbiter from Hasagawa in 1/200 scale, the Space Science series. It is a very nice kit. Very simple, straightforward, but I do believe it's going to go together fairly well anyway. You shouldn't need any weathering on the fuel tank and boosters because they only got used once. And after that, these got chucked away, burnt up on re-entry. And the main fuel tanks, I Don't know what happened to them. Sorry, the main boosters. I still don't know what happened to them. I think they got discarded as well, which is why this thing has turned out to be more expensive than they expected it to be. So, but as a kit, this is a very nice kit. It does show you how the vehicle went together, and I like the fact that you got well, you have the option to make 3 different shuttles. Discovery, Atlanta, and what was the other one? Challenger. You know, the ill-fated Challenger. Yeah, I remember the day that happened when it did. Yeah. Anyway, so there you go. Have you built this kit? Is this a kit that you've had? Is it on your shelf? Is it in your stash? And if it's a kit that you think is worthy of building, let me know. I certainly will be building this sooner or later, and I like the fact that you got a whole base and everything, so it should be fairly easy to display without putting in too much extra stuff around it. You could of course scratch build some extra infrastructure around the base itself, because it does look fairly plain. So a little bit of research on that may help to add more detail to it. But apart from that, I think you get everything you need for a nice, well-detailed kit. Yeah, happy with that. Yeah. So yeah, and 75% score I think you're going to get from me. Anyway, if you like this video, tell your friends. If you didn't like it, tell me why. Help me to make another kit. Help me to make a better video. I keep getting that wrong. And yeah, but anyway, thank you very much for watching, and take care everybody. Have fun modelling.